Smash Mouth once said, "The years start coming and they don't stop coming." And that's true, but in video games, you can always skip ahead a few centuries. Hey, it's Game Rant, and here are the 5 best open world games set in the future, ranked. Number 5. Death Stranding. You gotta give Hideo Kojima credit. Even all these years later after Death Stranding debuted on the PlayStation 4, it's still a game that eludes definition. But we can say with certainty it is both open world and set in the future. Everything else, well, that's up for debate, including the year. The world, or more specifically the United States of Death Stranding, was destroyed in an apocalypse that's equal parts original and horrifying. We're talking inky evil pulling victims below in a fate worse than death, and rain that literally ages anything it touches by several years. It's so terrifying, it makes you wonder why anyone would leave the house again. But even the delivery man curmudgeon Sam Bridges knows we must maintain the social connection, especially in times of collective trauma. Inspiring? Absolutely, but we wouldn't want to live in that timeline. Number 4. DSX Mankind Divided. Deus Ex, at least at the time of this writing, is not an active franchise, failing to impress the boardroom of Square Enix with its respectable sales numbers. Nevertheless, even with its ending directing to a game we'll likely never get, Mankind Divided is an excellent interpretation of the Deus Ex gameplay, set within a constrained 2029 Eastern European city. This allows players to use their growing arsenal of powers to stealth, brute force, or hack their way to success. The main story's conspiracy tied with civil rights and body autonomy, as well as the more grounded side missions which flesh out the current political tensions, give the narrative a general sense of realism. Mankind Divided frequently attempts to make genuine statements, and truthfully they don't always shake out, but the attempts always make for a more compelling campaign. Number 3. Horizon Forbidden West. There's an odd balance issue when it comes to Horizon Forbidden West. If you're looking for a great main story, well, it's not here. Yet the basic world and side missions are so rich in world building, it easily makes up for a forgettable villain. The world of Horizon is littered with robotic animals, with which humans battle to collect components to build futuristic tools. It's that merger of technology and history that makes the Horizon series visually arresting, and the open world itself is easier to travel via the ground or air, thanks to some new robotic friends. And the crafting systems, while not an original concept, are surprisingly engaging, thanks to the user interface and systems being naturally designed. Plus, it's one of the prettiest games to ever be made. That always helps. Number 2. Fallout New Vegas. Let's get the bad out of the way. Fallout New Vegas is buggy, and it can break from time to time. But other than that, it's arguably the strongest entry in the whole of Fallout. And perhaps that's because it was developed by Obsidian Entertainment, which just happened to be founded by designers who worked on the first 2 Fallout games, now being given a chance to play with the third dimension. And boy did they ever. Sure, you can lose some ill-gotten caps at the casino, but what makes this game feel alive is the consistently strong and funny writing. From a main narrative with a mystery mobster hook to the consistently moral iffy side missions, the radiated wastelands of 2281 will provide plenty shades of gray, where everyone is really looking out just for themselves. You can look at it 2 ways. There's either no right answer, or you can hit quick save, and they're all right answers. Number 1. Cyberpunk 2077. At this point, it's getting a bit awkward to keep bringing up how brilliant Cyberpunk 2077 is. Yes, it launched busted, but now it's pretty much the best single-player open-world game of the whole generation. But that is another list. Originally starting off as a tabletop role-playing game, Cyberpunk was eventually picked up by CD Projekt Red, who artfully utilized over 30 years of lore to create a fully realized futuristic world. Well, timeline. See, if we really want to get pedantic about this, we could say this is alternative history instead of our future. But it cannot be overstated the level of detail infused to every element of gameplay, from the brands of parts, guns, and cars, to the class and gang warfare frequently discussed in both the main and side missions, and an open world that feels steeped in history. The gunplay is as strong as any other first-person shooter on the market today, and the hacking powers bring a level of control only a handful of games can match. Simply put, if you want to feel like you are walking into the future, nothing comes close to Cyberpunk 2077. But what do you think? What's your favorite open world game that's set in the future? Let us know in the thread below, and we'll be sure to check out your comments. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this list, but keep clicking around here on Game Rant, and we'll see you next time.